What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, The Bad and The Stupid. It's Friday the 3rd of January. It's the last one of the week. It's the last one of the first week of the year. I thought it was going to be a slow news day today, but no, of course not, because we have a Donald Trump in the world. I think Donald Trump couldn't handle Christmas and New Year getting all the headlines over the past couple of weeks. So 3rd of January, he's come out, bang, straight away with what could have been his New Year's resolution and torpedoed one of a high-ranking official in Iran's military. So there's only one way that's going to go: retaliation. Clearly they're not going to let that one fucking lie, are they? I mean, that's an act of aggression. That's like, I mean, they're spawning for a fight anyway. I mean, that's like kicking a rabid dog in the bollocks and going, what are you going to do about it? Of course it's going to bite. So, you know, many people are going to pay the price for that. So just as you thought your New Year's resolutions in 2020 was going to be a bright and better future, we could all be looking at World War III and rations in 6 months' time. So don't spend your savings just yet. I was going to say, so let's move on to P&O ferries are ditching their nationalism or sing-alongs and Union Jacks on the ferries that they have, apparently. The old Rule Britannia and Jerusalem rules the way, whatever else that they sing. Possibly because they're going to be using those ships to now to ferry soldiers over to the Gulf or to bring back refugees, which America won't be left to deal with. What they do is just light a match, don't they, and then fuck off and go, well, it's your problem to deal with. How many refugees did America take from any of the conflict in Syria and Iraq? Not many, I imagine. So they'll be like, well, it's your problem, you deal with it, or pay us and we'll come and help you. That's what Donald Trump will say. We ain't going to do it for free. Even though we fucking, you know, they've got to use their military might somehow, haven't they? All those big shiny toys they've got. That's what they want. Anyway, on a good note, a woman who won 1 million lotto prize, and the Euro million, she won 1 million quid. She said her late mother had sprinkled some magic dust over her because she won it on Christmas Eve. Fucking brilliant. Won it on the Millionaire Maker on the Euro million. So what a fucking bonus that is. I haven't read the whole story, but I like to think she was having hard times and having a you know, like a Bob Scratchy, the Christmas Carol type situation where you're fucking down on your luck on your last bit of money or whatever and can't afford Christmas, and all of a sudden, bang, £1 million lands Christmas Eve. That's fucking brilliant. I mean, hopefully nobody sprinkled any magic dust over me. I've had quite a few bad years, so maybe it's yet to come. But I remember I left my tooth out for the tooth fairy one time, and I was left an IOU, so that's still not been paid back yet. So my luck's got to change somewhere sometime soon, I'm sure. Anyway, some people, oh yeah, I don't get this. People are queuing around the block at Greg's Bakery to get involved with the new vegan steak bake that they've launched. And there's a queue bigger than like Black Friday or bigger than fucking some of the Boxing Day sales there. It's like they're going to be in the shops the next day. What's the big deal about like eating a steak bake? And they're self-confessed super fans. One guy's got a steak bake, wait for it, tattooed on his right calf. So ladies, if you're looking for a bloke with a picture of a pasty tattooed on his right calf, maybe you've got a tattoo of a pasty on your left calf and you're meant to be together, then seek him out. He's in Newcastle somewhere. I wouldn't say he's the classiest of guys, but he obviously knows what he likes and doesn't care what anybody thinks. So if that's your kind of guy. Speaking of tattoos, I saw that Post Malone tattoo yesterday. I mentioned it yesterday, and he's got a tattoo of a medieval arm down the side of his face. I said I'd check it out and see what I thought of it. It looks shit. There you go. That's my opinion. But it looks all right on him because he's got a lot of tattoos on his face anyway. So, but it looks like one of them ones that you get pissed off with after about a couple of weeks and go, you know what? I wish I hadn't done that. I want to take it off. I think the only thing you can do now is cover it up with something bigger than that, which might have to be a Greg's steak bake tattooed on the side of his face. Maybe you can one up the guy with the one on his calf and have one tattooed on the side of his face. But Yeah, so if you're interested in a vegan steak bake, stay from the Greg's. Wait till tomorrow, because otherwise you're going to be queuing. That'll have run out by the time half of them get to the front. So waste of time. I will try one though. I think that'd be nice. Alpacas. Oh yeah, Ant and Dec. There's 2 alpacas called Ant and Dec that were left in a hotel car park after their owners forgot them. Travelodge had to ring them up and go, I think you've left something behind here. And they're like, oh, what's that? I left my phone charger in a hotel in Birmingham the other day. You know, when you search the room and make sure that you haven't left anything, and you search and search and search, and you search around that many times that you end up leaving something because your head gets fuzzled, that you think you've checked everywhere. You go back in the bathroom, double check everything there. I always leave something. You know, I don't know what it could be. Usually a phone charger, so you know it was plugged in the wall behind the bed. I remember. So yeah, but I didn't leave my llamas behind. I mean that's fucking a step beyond any kind of reasoning, isn't it? I mean the phone chargers are easily mistaken, but 2 big massive animals with fuzzy hairdos sticking out the top back of the trailer. The guys went off shopping and then drove off back 30 miles down the motorway before somebody got in touch with them and said that they'd forgot them. So reunited again, only to be left somewhere in the future because they've obviously got what's it called, absent-minded. But for now they've got their alpacas back, so they've probably got a load of shit to deal with because they've left them too long without giving them a walk. So you'll have to deal with picking up the extra llama shit. Probably leave it on the Travelodge car park. This is funny, a criminal was having his hair cut and the police drove by and spotted him in there, so they went and arrested him as he was halfway through having his hair cut. I wonder if they'll put him up on one of those take the piss out of him photos on the, you know, they do on the internet. The police put the photos of the criminals up and everybody just starts slating them. There was 2 great ones. The 2 guys in the Midlands, and they had like, they were what was it? They looked like they had like blunt streaks in their hair and everything like that, and everyone was calling them Wham and Wake Me Up Before You Go and shit like that. I don't know, they were saying like loads of things related to Wham. And what was the other ones they had? There was another guy with a massive long neck and everything, and everyone was taking the piss out of it. So if he has got a funny haircut, put him up on the internet so we can all have a laugh at it. Because they didn't let him finish his haircut, they bundled him off. They couldn't believe their luck. So it must have been pretty noticeable. Imagine if he had like big massive, he could have had a big afro, he could have had like fucking half a Mohican, he could have anything. They probably had a right laugh about it, the police. Snowflake golfers are ditching wet and windy courses to play 18 holes on simulators in the comfort of their own houses. The new breed of players are forking out 40 grand on the machines. They're spending £40,000. Fucking hell. They've obviously got more money than sense. You know what I mean? That 40 grand, I could have done a lot with that. And you're not prepared to go out and play on a proper golf course. That's crazy. They'll end up being like tournaments, but it might well be now already. You know, like you got the computer game tournaments where you can play for lots of money just through the computer game. They'll be doing that through the golf simulators. You'll become a professional golfer just on the simulator. Well, and golf is just, the amount of money in golf is ridiculous, isn't it? Even if you come last in a game of that professional golf tour, you're probably taking home like 50 grand or something ridiculous, like a really high price. It's crazy the amount of money in it. Honestly, I'm in the wrong game here. I tell you what, there's no money in podcasting, I'll tell you that. Not at my level. Maybe I should take up golf, but I'm not very good at that either, so I'm left-handed. Anytime I ever went and played golf with anybody, they always had the golf clubs because they go, I'll come along, and I would go along, and I'm left-handed, but they've always got right-handed golf clubs. So I'd only ever play with the back of the golf club. So clearly I was never going to have a good game, was I? Because they'd just go, there wouldn't be anywhere to get other golf clubs there, so I'd have to fucking smash the balls with the back of the golf club, or try and play it like a fucking, you know, you try and play with the opposite arm, you can't do it, can you? You just like start smashing them all over the place, if you smash them at all. Yeah, so never got into golf. A landlord stands by his pub's fire, which he says has been burning away for 174 years. Peter Parsons says the embers in the Warren house in Dartmoor in Devon has been kept alive since 1845, when Tim Miners took shelter at the inn. That's pretty good. I mean, I don't think if I was looking after that place for a week, I'm pretty certain that the fire would go out. It would just be my luck. You know, it'd be like, I don't touch it, wouldn't touch it. The fire would go out and everyone would go, what have you done? And I'd be like, I didn't do anything. And this is like one of that, like, when people say, look after my house for me. Do you fancy looking after the house for a couple of days or whatever? I did that once, and accidentally, they had like a push-up, push-down plug thing, and it was like one of those flat sinks almost, and you couldn't tell when the plug was up or down. It looked like it was down anyway. And long story short, I flooded the bathroom. Let's put it that way. Because I walked out to find my toothbrush in my bag, and I was about a couple of minutes doing that. When I come back, the sink had overflown, and then, you know, I had to repaint and everything, you know, out of my you know, time, effort, and feeling guilty basically. So I refuse to do that sort of thing anymore. So I don't think I'd be put anywhere near something that's been going for 174 years. It'd just be a disaster. I'd walk past and accidentally somehow be carrying a pail of water and accidentally roll along the floor and accidentally chuck it in the fireplace or something or other. Sounds good though. It's a good little story. I mean, it's probably bullshit. How does he know that? I mean, people have said I bet there's somewhere along the line that somebody's gone, the fire went out, but we won't tell anybody. Just relight it. But it's a pub, so it encourages people to come. It's a tourist attraction at the end of the day, isn't it? So there you go. If you want to come up with, get people into your pub, people visit. What was a tourist attraction? What's the one in Hull? People go and visit. The smallest window in the world, they're saying, or the smallest window in the country. So people go and visit it just to see. Is it? You know, a lot of Chinese tourists on coach loads and stuff like that, because it's on their list of things to go and do when you're in Hull. So, you know, you can make a tourist attraction out of anything, really. Aldi's customers have said that their fitness vest makes them look like suicide bombers. Well, surely you saw it. I mean, I'm looking at the picture of it here. But nobody's wearing it, and it looks like a suicide vest to me, without even like, without having to put it on and then walk around the gym like it. $17.99, because it's got loads of weight holes that you put the weights in the front of the vest like that, and you add them if you want to add more weight and whatnot. And it just looks like you know, it looks like a suicide vest. If anything, that could be seen by suicide bombers as something to use instead of fucking having to make a suicide vest. They go, oh, let's get one of those Aldi ones so we don't have to fucking piss about trying to make one. So I think the sooner they take off the shelves, the better. Although they look like they'd be good to use in the gym, but I think you're better using them in the house. You know, just fucking fill them with weights and do some squats or something with the curtain shut. Otherwise, you're going to have the police kicking your door in. Where are we going to go? Just going to finish up on a couple more. I'm going to keep this one short today because I'm in a bit of a rush. You know, it's Friday. Got the Friday feeling. You know what I mean? Scientists. Oh, what was I saying here? Somebody said the other day that scientists have said that there's an asteroid about to fly past Earth that would be if it hit something, it would be the equivalent of 30 nuclear bombs going off. How they've only and it's going past in 4 days' time. It's going past the Earth. Have they not found? They can see things like 1,500 million light years away and tell us exactly when they're going to be coming. How come they've only just said that something's going to be passing us in 4 days' time? So if you're not here in 5 days' time, if my podcast disappears off air, well, you'll know because the whole world will be blown up and we'll all be fucking gone. If it isn't by the asteroid, it could be by Donald Trump and his antics. One thing also, Donald Trump said he's done that thing, torpedoed the Iranian military guy, and then said after doing it, saying, I think all American citizens ought to leave Iran immediately. So we could have given prior. Obviously, you can't give prior warning when you're going to do something like that. But at the same time, you've left them fucking hung them out to dry, haven't you? You know, literally, they could be used as pawns, hostages, anything. You literally imagine you're just going about your business as an American in Iran, not know what you'd be there for anyway, but there must be IT guys or whatever else there. All of a sudden that happens and somebody says, get the fuck out of Dodge now. You know, you've got to drop everything and run, ain't you? So, yeah. There we go. So we got an asteroid flying past, and we've also got a narcissist sitting and doing crazy shit. Right, last one. Last two. 1 in 10 people have confessed to taking a work call at a wedding, a funeral, or even during sex. You can't take a work call during sex. Come on, imagine that. Just getting into it, and all of a sudden, oh, I must take this. It's really important. All right, Dave. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what that report? I'll have it on your desk on Monday. Carry on as you were. I remember at a funeral. I remember my mate was at a funeral. I think it was at his dad's funeral. And remember when you started getting those like things where you could take a picture of yourself and turn yourself into like bunny rabbits and all that kind of stuff. Your face would be in the middle. You'd have this cartoon character around you, like a llama or whatever else. You could cartoon up your face. He was at a funeral of his dad's funeral. And his phone beeped in his pocket, so he took it out and he stood like around the grave or whatever. He took it out, and there's a picture of my other mate who didn't know he was at the funeral, mind you. A picture of him with like bunny rabbit ears and like mad teeth like that, and he said he just burst out laughing, kind of thing. So lighten the mood, but nobody else saw the text, so I don't think anybody else found it very funny that he was laughing at his own dad's funeral as the what's it called, as the coffin was being lowered. Right, last one for me of the day, of the week. Hollywood actor Nicolas Cage is oh, this is great. Nicolas Cage is in Somerset, and he welcomed in the new year at a social club in Somerset, and he bought everyone a drink. He was posing for pictures with surprise staff. Imagine that, sitting in a typical English working man's social club, and Nicolas Cage bowls in and starts fucking going, right, who's having what? What are you having? But even though he's got loads of money, in a social club it'd be a cheap round, wouldn't it? Because they ain't that expensive, social clubs. It's one of the cheapest places to get a drink. I thought, what's he doing there? You know what I mean? It's really random, isn't it? Such a random thing. But it turns out he's got houses in Glastonbury and in Bath. So I don't know if he's even over here making a film, but he was just over here chilling. And but all the places in the world that you can go, and he rocks up to like a social club. So that's brilliant. That's fucking anti-Hollywood. I like that. People who are down to earth and just do something random like that. I mean, he's done a lot of shit films, but that new film that he's got coming out where he plays a ghost of Nicolas Cage talking to the original Nicolas Cage, or an imaginary Nicolas Cage talking to the original Nicolas Cage about all the shit Nicolas Cage films that he's done. That's genius. So, you know, he's got a good sense of humour. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully we're all here sometime next week and not blasted by the asteroid, or not nuked by Donald Trump, or Iran, or wherever else the shit's going to come from. See you again soon. See you later. Bye-bye.